Don't put words in her mouth.
We have been working on the construction of the haunt for about the past 3 or 4 months. But before that, we had a lot of design work that we had to do, which spans back to last academic year, so 2021, which was before I even joined the team.
For the first year, it was kind of all blue sky concept, and then we finally got some money, and this past year we finalized designing and actually started construction, and now we have a fully fledged operational haunted house on campus here at UF.
Because of the extent to which Swamp Haunters and this whole project is in its infancy, it's not really established anywhere that we can go and build or go and store our roles and everything. And even before this, it was a challenge finding a place to put on the haunt, and then we have to deal with permits and everything. And then also we were literally building everything you see in here, literally in one of our captains, Josiah's apartment. And he barely had a living space for like 3 months. So that is definitely the biggest challenge, and I think it's on the forefront of our minds now as we're moving forward into our next year.
So over the summer, our lovely treasurer, Josh Keston, he worked with the mechanical engineering department to sponsor us, which was an amazing thing because this was a project that I'd been dreaming about. So the fact that we were able to get that money through mechanical engineering and it supported us, it was a great opportunity through that. Because we had gone through multiple options all around campus. A lot of them fell through because this type of event is hard to hold in some of the facilities here. Fortunately, I knew some people in band, and the band director graciously let us use the space for about 2 weeks, which is exactly what we needed in order to have the time to set up and to finish it off.
A lot of the things that you see in this room right now were drawings originally. It's really interesting to see it all kind of come into existence from pencil to the actual haunt itself. So we wanted it to make it as immersive and colorful as possible. We wanted it to be overwhelmed with lights and fog work, as well as set pieces and actors, as well as even scents. So the immersive experience for this haunt has really been about building a carnival or like midway that was convincing, and then transitioning into a very, very different theme halfway through and trying to make that cohesive. This entire scene was actually done as a render. It was both in Rhinoceros and then Beyond by another one of our creative directors. And so now seeing it physically in person is pretty amazing because it looks just like the render. The lights go down and the stage lights are on, and we have all of our special effects running. I think that it's even better. My role in the project is I'm a creative director. And I say creative director, but I think that everyone here really does work in their different departments a lot. So no one just does one thing. A lot of people will also go into help with tech or costume or acting or logistics. Everyone wears more than one hat.
So I'm primarily acting, but throughout the week I did come to like build days. I have tabling in Turlington, so I like to just be as involved as I could.
But the fact that there were quite a lot of people who were coming out to our build days, they were held on weekends, both Saturday and Sunday for the majority of the day, and that's time for us college students to take a little break and actually do some of our own work and then homework and whatnot. But these people were so dedicated to the project, so the fact that they would come out on their own time and spend it with us building this crazy haunt was a dream come true.
A lot of the other captains have experience with building home haunts and working for other haunts, and they've kind of taken the experience that they have also in theater, and they've been applying that to creating something that makes you feel very immersed as you're going through it, that you wouldn't even realize that you're out at the UF Banfield Pavilion. So my last haunt I worked with for about 5 years. I was an art director or creative director for that team too, as well as production manager in the final year. And honestly, that was what made me realize the extent to which I wanted to continue working in the industry and on projects like this. because I love immersive experiences.
It's one thing to just, play at outright horror and outright scary, but to play this sort of like seductive evil that isn't outwardly evil but lures you in to kill you. My favorite part has probably just been seeing the character come to life once all of the elements are incorporated, lights, the costume, and just getting a reaction out of people.
Like just getting to interact with guests in the room. That's always a really fun part of this, and I'm happy I get to do it.
Jack, what's the final number?
One ticket, you guys.
184.
I had been doing home haunts for going on 8 years, and I started in my parents' front yard doing that. And when I had come to UF my freshman year, I was like, hey, it'd be cool if there was an on-campus haunted house. And I had found Gator Theme Park Engineering and Design Club, GPED, and I pitched it to them. I was like, hey, it'd be cool if we started a haunted house design team.
The most difficult part, I would say, as someone who has experience with building a haunt, I do think that I overlooked how hard it would be to operate without a designated site. Trying to get through all of the different laws and ordinances and getting the permits that we need and getting the permission that we need, and all of that has been literally a full-time job. And honestly, I'm so grateful for the other captains who maybe were willing to, step back from the actual show itself and the creative work and focus on the paperwork and the legal work and the legalese, because that is literally the lifeblood. And even if we didn't have half of the sets that we have, and even if we didn't have any of the costumes or makeup that we have, the show could still go on. But if we didn't have the rights to do this sort of thing, and we didn't have the paperwork and everything done, it would not go on. These are all supposed to look like closed ticket booths until you get to this one here. And the ticket master jumps out.
There's always something that goes wrong. No matter how many times you do this, there's always something. The animatronic that we spent a month working on, the most critical component of it snapped in half. And this was 10 minutes before opening. And we got it up and running for that night.
We actually enter my favorite room in the house, which is our fun house. So you enter into this black light set with lots of neon paint. The whole room was actually done in UV paint. We splattered it on the walls. We painted a lot of details that you can't even see right now. There's SIF, shit and face, sitting against you as you walk through. One thing that I didn't expect, which, like I said before, I kind of just overlooked it because I kind of took for granted what it's like having an established event. And I think that not only is it new to a lot of the people on the team, but it's also new to the entirety of this community at UF, the whole world of haunting and building haunted houses.
Boy, so much has surprised me going into this, because I never thought that something of this scale could happen at UF, could be put on. Really the sum of all the parts is what surprised me, how much dedication and time everyone on the TPED team has put into this.
Being able to put all the pieces together and seeing how we actually float as a house for the first time was something that was incredible.
I mean, we're in April right now. The fact that there are people coming out to this haunt, and we're not even in October during the season where this makes sense, shows that there is a place for this kind of entertainment.
Scenic design and the fun optical illusions that they pull off in order to pull off these specific scares in each room. It's super impressive.
This is another one of my favorite scares. He activates a light with a pedal that basically turns this one-way mirror and is like, I'm gonna suck your blood, and who knows what else.
I want to suck your blood and your toes. That's right. Release the dogs.
And we then enter into our vampire lounge feasting grounds. This is another room that we spent a lot of time drawing and rendering to make it look, just to get an idea, just because we knew that it was something that we wanted to be very dense and developed. This is where you find out that this is where the vampires have been living, and they're behind the carnival. Being able to work on a haunted attraction again and doing it with other like-minded people, other college students too, who have that same interest as me, and finding a group like that, I've just been really, really grateful for it and the entire experience of it.